I thought I'd come on here to have a bit of a rant. I feel like crap today, so crap, because the UK is just so bloody expensive. Like, is anyone else noticing how expensive the UK is getting? Food is constantly expensive. We pay our taxes and they're constant. Like, I'm self-employed and I've just been on the phone to the tax office, and sometimes I feel like, what's the point in even working these days to just get by? It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I just feel like electricity, water, gas, luckily we're just electric, but still that's really expensive. Council tax. This country is too expensive. Too expensive.
Can I just move in with you? What's it like in Canada? Cold and expensive. It is cold and expensive. It is -10. Gas is $7 a gallon. Oh, but I heard people in Canada are so it's cold and expensive. Oh, but don't you have universal? It is cold and expensive.
Another thing about London that is so stupid, sorry Londoners, but it's the truth, is the price of everything here. So stupid. Tell me why my meal at Five Guys cost me $45. Five Guys, that's a fast food chain, right? The equivalent of McDonald's. I got a meal for one person, $45. Did not get nothing crazy. Not one that I didn't get a toy with it. There is no world at all where a coffee should cost me 10 Australian dollars. That is crazy cakes. That is absolute cakes. I went to one like decent restaurant, not fancy, just like a decent restaurant, and we didn't even drink alcohol, and I'm pretty sure it was $75 each. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I can almost guarantee you missed this headline, because if you hadn't, you wouldn't be watching me on your phone right now, because you would have yeeted your phone directly into the wall. But if you're one of the millions of Americans pissed off about high egg prices, you need to hear this, because we just found out the nation's largest egg supplier just reported quarterly profits of $509 million. That is 3 times their quarterly profit for the same quarter last year. In fact, before egg prices went absolutely egg shit, this company's average quarterly profit was $5 million. But for the last 4 quarters, that jumped to $169 million per quarter on average. And this all happened because egg prices tripled while the government was giving bailout money to egg producers to help offset the losses. Money that was given to those producers to help keep prices down. But you know why prices didn't stay down? Because nobody said they had to. That's it. That's free market capitalism. And it is a perfect example of one of the greatest Republican lies of the past century. That lie being that the government shouldn't regulate businesses because through free market capitalism, businesses and industries will regulate themselves. The theory is that if you make food and then that food poisons people, then people won't buy your food and they'll buy food from people who don't poison you. Then eventually, after a whole bunch of people are poisoned to death, there will only be companies that don't make poisoned food. Theoretically, this is great, right? As long as you're not one of the people who died. But in reality, this just doesn't happen. Not ever, not once, not reliably. Instead, the same thing is what just happened with egg farms and egg prices. The biggest players in any given space survive the things that take out the smaller players. Then those biggest players use that scarcity to drive up the price. The exact same thing that happened after the Great Recession. All the little builders and developers went belly up. So the biggest developers that were still left, they snatched up properties and homes for pennies on the dollar. And those corporate landlords jack up your rent while paying lobbyists to blame government for not building more houses. The moral of the story, of course, being that the free market is a rabid wild animal, and thus regulations exist for a reason. While they're far from perfect, it seems Democrats are the only ones interested in implementing them.
Cost of living in Canada is sick. There is no more cost of living. There is only cost of surviving. My girlfriend and I met for coffees the other day, and she owes a little bit of money to the government, and she was crying to me, saying, I don't know what to do. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm a single mother. Like, I can't afford to live here anymore. So she had a call with the CRA, and the CRA ripped her apart. They said, it is unacceptable that you have not maxed out your credit cards to pay us. It is not acceptable that you are paying $1,000 a month in groceries for yourself and your 3 children. You need to cut back. So she said to them, you're telling me that you want me to take the food from my children's mouth to pay your greedy ass, when it's your fault that fucking groceries are astronomically priced right now. We are all in this together. We are all suffering together. The cost of living is killing people. Families are falling apart. People don't get to see their children because they have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. I need to let people know that there's another way. And I'm telling you, you need to start looking into the world of digital marketing, digital products, digital sales. These are all things that you can do at home. Make them at home, build them at home, implement it at home, start marketing it at home, and start making the money at home. Working your 9 to 5 is barely getting you by. You're never going to get ahead. But I'm telling you, you need to do something because this isn't going to get better. Watch what's going to happen in the housing market this year. Watch the price of groceries. Watch the price of gas. Like, we're not getting relief. This is not going away. So how are you going to get on top of it? What are you going to do to make sure that you and your family can survive? Fuck surviving. What are you going to do so that you and your family can thrive? Because it is possible. All you need to do is take the first step.
What the hell is going on in Canada right now? I am home visiting my parents this weekend for the holidays. I live in the West Village in New York City, the highest cost of living yuppie area ever in the history of the United States. I am never shocked when I get a dinner bill. I'm never shocked when I go on vacation. Nothing phases me. I've traveled all over the world. Tell me why I come home to Newmarket, Ontario, the suburbs of Toronto, and I'm shocked at the cost of living here. How are Canadian people making it work? Everybody involved with the economy right now needs to be fired immediately. We need to contact the UN and get a binding resolution here. Something sinister is going on in Canada, and I'm determined to get to the bottom of it.
Bro, is it just me, or did all the prices of everything just skyrocket out of nowhere, bro? Like, I literally went and bought a t-shirt for $80 the other day. I'm not even joking. I think I would have bought that t-shirt a couple years ago for $10. The craziest part is I actually searched up why, like, the t-shirts and everything's getting so expensive, and the reasoning why will actually shock you. So I was pissed off, and I searched up why this is happening, and what I found out is actually going to shock you. So when you're buying something, you're not buying it off the company. You're buying it off a middleman, bro. The company sells the product to a middleman for the retail price, which we're all used to, $10, $20, $30 max, right? The middleman buys it in bulk and sells it for $80, right? So this guy is making a flip off of everybody. Bro, when I found that out, I was actually so pissed off until I found Temu. On Temu, you're basically buying the same clothes, same quality, everything, but for cheap because you're buying it off the company. You're not buying it off the middleman. Cut off the middleman process and they sell it to you directly from Temu. That's why it's cheaper. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been spending a bag on Temu and I've been getting way more in return, bro.
2 incomes just isn't enough money anymore. Me and my husband are both in our 30s. We make the most money we've ever made before, and we still struggled between every single paycheck. We spent hours every single Friday when we would get paid trying to figure out what we could cut back, trying to budget every penny we had so that we would make it to the next paycheck. The grocery store is too expensive. Vehicles are too expensive. Vacations are too expensive. Houses are too expensive. 2 incomes is just not enough anymore in today's world. I have a college degree in physical therapy, and when I got good grades and went to college and did all the right things, it was supposed to solve all those financial problems. That's what everybody told me. It was going to solve all my problems. Well, it didn't, and they lied. And I was sick of struggling between every single paycheck when I was working my ass off, treating more patients than I should be treating. I was overworked, underpaid, and I was sick of it. So I learned a different way to make money. I learned how to make money online. I learned how to use my social media to sell and promote digital products so that I could create another stream of income. I wanted to be able to be home more with my kids, and I wanted to be the mom that could go pick my kids up from school and not have to pay for after school care and do all the things. But I couldn't be home and not have a full-time income. Could not do it. But learning how to make money online and creating an income stream that I have created and make money while I still treat patients part-time, but I am able to work part-time now, and I don't pay for after school care. I pick my kids up from school every single day. I drop them off at school every single day, all because I created an income stream from my cell phone. If you're ready to join all the other moms that have learned how to monetize their social media and learn how to make money online so that they could stop living that paycheck to paycheck cycle, then go to the link in my profile and click the very first link. It's going to give you my free guide, and it's going to give you all the information on how I learned how to do this.
I just found out that the city that I live in, that I was born, raised, grew up in, is now the 3rd most expensive city in the entire world. I live in Canada. You hear cities like New York being the most expensive. It's known to be the most expensive. But you know something is wrong when you live in Canada and they say, oh, you have freedom, you have this, you have that. But we're just living to work here. There's no enjoyment. If you just want to have an impromptu fun brunch or go out with your friends once in a while, you have to plan it. You can't just go out anymore. You have to actually plan and budget it into your money, or you will be in debt. We're actually probably all in debt. Probably 99% of us are in debt because the wages that we get in Canada versus what we actually are paying, it doesn't match up. No one can afford to live like we do. I was just talking to this girl from Colombia, and she said she went to LA, and she said their groceries are 1,000 times cheaper than ours. She went into this store called Ali, I think, and she said she was in a state of shock of how cheap your produce is, how cheap your meat is, how cheap it is to actually make a meal at home. You go to a grocery store in Canada and you want to maybe buy 5 apples, you're maybe paying like $6-7, I'm not even joking, for apples that are grown off a tree. I maybe will buy 4 products at a grocery store, 5, and I'm spending over $20, hands down. Even toilet paper that you use to wipe your ass with is being charged for like $10. And I'm like, I don't even want to buy it. Maybe charge $3, $4. No, minimum 10 for toilet paper. Our minimum wage here is $17 an hour. So if you want to go buy some toilet paper, that's more than half your hourly wage. If you want to drive, our gas is $2 a liter. More, it's minimum $2 a liter. It's going up all the time. I live in Vancouver and the rent is absolutely insanity here. It goes up every year. People have to live out in the burbs because they can't afford to live in the city anymore. If you want to be in Vancouver, they're charging for a studio tiny little shack in downtown over $2,000 a month for one person. People are working 3 jobs just to live in this city. It's actually crazy, and they're still struggling to pay their bills. They're just living paycheck to paycheck. They're not even getting to really enjoy their life. And at this point, it's just kind of like, are we having fun? I didn't sign up to work to live the bare minimum of life, just to scrape by. And this only happened when COVID hit. Before that, it was all tolerable. And then COVID hit and everything skyrocketed. And it's actually gone out of control. The homelessness is insane in the city. And I'm like, I feel you. Because if I am not careful, I could so easily be homeless. So many of us could so easily be homeless. It's scary. It's a scary reality. Canada is not a great place to live anymore.